Welcome back to my channel. My name is SC. In today's class, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this beautiful Ankara ball dress. You can use any fabric of your choice, but I choose to use Ankara. Please, if today is the first time of watching my video, don't forget to subscribe and share. For my returning subscribers, thank you. First of all, I'm going to be drawing out my starting point. From there, I'm going to be taking my half length measurement. This dress is for a baby 9 months old, so the half length I'm using for this dress is 8 inches, 7.5 plus half inch sewing allowance at the waistline. I'm going ahead to label my lines, which is the shoulder and the waist measurement. The next thing for me to do is to take down my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 4, neck width of 2 inches and the neck depth of 2 inches. You can go ahead and use 2.5 depending on how chubby the baby is. Mine is not really chubby. Okay, I'm going from the shoulder tip. I'm going down by half an inch for the shoulder slope. I'll draw a line across. Then from there, I'm going to be drawing out my armhole line, which is 4 inches. I'll be using 4 inches for this. If your baby is chubby or bigger, you can use 4.5 in or 5 inches. Next thing is to get my correct shoulder measurements at the bust line so that I can have a straight line. I'll go ahead and roll a line across as you see me do. And the next thing for me on that my bust line, I'm going to be marking my bust measurement divided by 4, my waist measurement divided by 4 at the waistline. So I'll connect the armhole just like you see me do. I'm not going in by half an inch because this dress will not be having sleeve, so I'll just do my armhole straight just the way you see me do, then connect it to the waistline. I'll go ahead and cut out. Before I cut out, I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches for the sewing allowance. So you can make yours half inches, you can make yours 1 inch depending on what you want. Or at the end of the day, some people used to cut out the excess fabric, the excess allowance inside, but for me I'm using 1.5, so I'm going ahead to cut it out. So I'm going to be cutting out on my fabric, and I'm using the front to cut out the back. The only difference is the neckline and the 1 inch sewing allowance. So for the sewing allowance, I'm going to be notching it because it will come in handy when we are sewing our dress. The next thing for us to do is to cut out the lining, which I'm doing. As you can see me do, I'm just going ahead to cut out the lining. Okay, so after cutting out my lining, the next thing for me to do now is to join the neckline together. For the back, I'm not joining, I stitch that's the sewing allowance. I'm not going to be stitching the neck to that part. I'll just leave the sewing allowance open. So I'm going to be turning the neck for the back from the zip allowance. From the zip allowance I'm starting to stitch. Please, I don't know if you understand me, just go ahead. After sewing, I'm going to be notching it just the way you see me do. Go ahead and notch your own dress. After that, I'm going to be joining the shoulders together. For this part, when you are joining the shoulder, right side to right side, then lining to lining, fabric to fabric. That's how you join this shoulder. I'll go ahead and join the shoulder, and this is what it looks like after joining. If you have iron at this point, you can use, and at the end of the sewing, if your allowance are too excess, you want to cut it off, you can. The next thing for me to do is to join the armhole. We are not using sleeve for the dress, so I'm going to be joining the armhole together. Just use your pins while doing this so it does not give you too much stress. Just follow me the way I'm doing. I'm going to pin it down, take it to the sewing machine, and come back to show you what I've done. After joining, this is what I have. I'll just go ahead to notch it. After notching, You can still trim off the excess if you want to, but for me I'll just notch and turn it over to the right side. Then I'll do the other side just the way I did this one. And this is what we have. At this point I was not having light, so I had to continue. I'll go ahead and do the other side, then come back to show you. I've gone ahead to do my draw gathers on the net part. This net I used 2 yards, so I had to cut it in 3 layers. And for my peplum, I'm sorry the camera was not recorded, so I didn't get the video of how I cut my peplum, but I will be showing you how to cut a 360-degree flare in my next video. I'm going to be joining the nets to the Ankara fabric. Please note, depend on how full you want it to be. For me, I'm not using hard nets or any other nets. It's just the soft net because she's the baby. But if you want something very big, you can add hard nets, or you can as well get a waistcoat. This is it. I'm going to be joining the net to the main fabric. Go ahead and join them. Even if you are using just net, it's no problem. Just go ahead and fix the net you want to be showing outside to the main upper bodies of the dress. I don't know if you get me. I'll go ahead and join that one to the peplum, my flare, then come back and show you what it looks like. After joining, this is what it looks like. The next thing for me to do is to join this flare to the main bodies. Mind you, I'm doing it separately, not together. As you can see, the lining is not part of what I'm pinning down, so I'll just pin it down to the main bodies. The lining it's on its own, so just go ahead and pin your upper and the down bodies together, just the way you see me do. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew it to come back and show you what it looks like. For a fuller volume of ball dress or whatever, what you need to do is just, you can add this white net, it's still a soft net, just to give it volume at the down part of the dress. I used 1 yard for this, and I just did the single draw gathers. I added it to this to make my dress fuller. For some of us that does not want our inner lining to be showing this sewing at the top, you can as well reline it, that the child can wear the clothes in 2 ways. After joining it, this is what it looks like. The lining to lining, while the fabric and the net to the main fabric and the net. I don't know if you get, but just watch again so you can understand. Next thing now is to fix the zip. I'm going to be separating the lining from the main dress, and I'm arranging the net because my net is very rough. Please, if you are buying nets, buy a neat one, or if you have a rough net already that you want to use, please try and iron it very well. I'm going to be measuring where my zipper will stop. From there I'll stitch it down just the way you see me do. Just try and arrange your net very well. If your net is a rough one, iron it. I'm going to be taking 4.75 inches, just the way you see me mark it. I'll go ahead and stitch that down, then I'll do the same thing to the lining part. But before then, I'll need to pin it down, get a neat finishing. Just watch carefully. Alright, I'll go ahead and turn it out to show you what it looks like. And this is what it looks like after joining. The next thing for us to do now is to fix our zipper Remember the place we notched that we did not join on the back neckline. To place your zip on it, just the way you see me do, then pin it down. Please, it depends on the paper allowance you added. If you add one, just go ahead and make sure it's one you are using. If you add half, make sure it's half. So I'll pin this one down. Do the same thing to the other side of the dress. Mind you, it's just the front part, the Ankara part that I'm working on. As you can see, the line is on the other side. I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other side of the dress. Go ahead and pin it down, then take it to my sewing machine to sew. After that, this is what we have after fixing it. The next thing for us to do now is to use the lining to cover it. Then you go ahead and sew the part that was open on the neckline. Now this part is very tricky. You just have to understand what you are doing. You just have to understand it. It will confuse you definitely if you're a first timer. Even if you're a second timer, it will confuse you, but just go ahead. What you are doing is right. Go ahead and pin it down on top. So the zip on its own will be in between the main fabric and the lining. I don't know if you understand me. I'll go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. I'll stitch the neck area down, cut out the excess allowance that is coming up, then it's together and come and show you what it looks like. After joining, this is what we have. I'm cutting out the excess just like I said, then I'll turn it to the right side, and this is what we have. This is the inner part of it. See the way it's looking fabulous. This is the front part of it. I'll just go ahead and trim off the excess of this my pink bikini, and this is it. After trimming out the excess, I'll go ahead to fold the down part of my Ankara, then weave the inner part also to make it look neat, and voila, weave, not neat. This is what it looks like after everything. If you want it fuller, you get more fabric. Thank you.